You know, I used to think eating more vegetables was always the safe bet. Like, no matter what age you are, just load up your plate with greens and you're doing your body a favor, right? But recently, I came across some research that really made me pause. Turns out a few common vegetables, yeah, the ones we usually assume are healthy, might actually be messing with testosterone levels, especially as we get older. I didn't believe it at first. I mean, how could something natural and plant-based be harmful? But once I looked into the science, it started to make a lot more sense. Hormones change as we age, and some foods can either help or hurt that balance more than we think. So in this video, I want to share 3 specific vegetables that could be lowering your testosterone without you even realizing it. No over-the-top claims, just real info that might help you feel a little stronger, more energized, and in control of your health, and to have a balanced diet. Let's get into it. All right, fellas, this one's gonna surprise you. Broccoli. Yeah, the same veggie you've been loading up on for years, thinking it's doing you all kinds of good. Don't get me wrong, broccoli is healthy. It's packed with fiber, vitamin C, antioxidants, all the stuff your doctor probably loves. But when it comes to testosterone, it's not always the hero we think it is, especially if you're over 60 and trying to keep those hormone levels strong. See, broccoli is part of the cruciferous vegetable family, along with cauliflower, cabbage, Brussels sprouts. You know the type. These veggies contain something called goitrogens, and when you eat them in large amounts every single day, they can mess with your thyroid function. Now, why does that matter? Because as men age, testosterone naturally declines, and your thyroid, it's basically your hormone engine. If that slows down, your testosterone often takes a hit too. And mainly overcooking your broccoli instead of boiling it until it's soft and sad. Yeah, that kills off the good stuff like sulforaphane, which actually supports hormone health. What you're left with is the not-so-friendly part that may be doing more harm than good. So what should you do? You don't have to throw out your broccoli, but you do need to keep it in check. Don't rely on it as your only veggie. Rotate it, try kale, peppers, and asparagus. And when do you cook broccoli? Steam it lightly or saute it. Keep that crunch, keep those nutrients. Think of it this way, you want your food to work with your body, not against it. And if you're trying to feel stronger, sharper, and more energized at this age, even small changes like this one can add up in a big way. Now listen, broccoli caught a lot of you off guard, I know, and I wish I could say that was the only little green traitor hiding in plain sight. But nope, there's more. Because sometimes it's not just about what we eat, it's about what our body does with it. And this next one, it's sneaky, because it's often part of a healthy salad, tossed with good intentions, but behind the scenes, it's not doing your testosterone any favors. Soy, it's one of those things you either swear by or side-eye with suspicion, especially soya-based products like edamame, those cute little green pods you might see in salads, stir-fries, or as a light snack. They're technically immature soybeans, which means they're packed with phytoestrogens, a plant-based compound that mimics estrogen in the body. Now, phytoestrogens aren't inherently bad, but in older men, where testosterone is already naturally declining, adding more estrogen-like compounds to the mix can tilt the hormonal balance in the wrong direction. Over time, this could mean reduced muscle mass, lower energy, decreased libido. In fact, a 2008 meta-analysis published in Fertility and Sterility found that soy foods and isoflavone supplements were linked to lower testosterone levels in men. And before you say, but it's just a snack, I get it. But daily intake or swapping meat-based proteins for soy-based ones consistently can start to build up those estrogen-like effects. My advice, if you're over 60 and looking to protect your T levels, try to limit soy-heavy foods like tofu, soy milk, and edamame. Go for protein sources that fuel testosterone, lentils, or lean meats if you're not strictly vegan. And remember, just because it's green and plant-based doesn't mean it's a free pass. Sometimes the smallest foods can have the biggest impact on your hormones. Now finally moving on to our next, mint. This one feels like betrayal, because it doesn't look dangerous. That innocent little herb floating in your tea, hiding in your chewing gum, or dressing up your salad. Turns out it's got a shady side. Spearmint and peppermint have been directly linked to a drop in testosterone production. No roundabout stuff, just clean, clinical data. A study found that male rats given spearmint had a significant decrease in serum testosterone. Another study also showed that even in humans, drinking spearmint tea daily reduced testosterone levels noticeably. Look, I'm not saying ditch mint altogether, but if you're sipping spearmint tea every evening thinking it's helping your digestion or stress, yeah, it might also be helping your testosterone slide quietly out the back door. So moderation is the key. Mint once in a while is fine, but if you're focused on keeping your tea levels up where they belong, maybe reach for green tea, ginger tea, or even black coffee instead. All right, we've already called out some surprising testosterone wreckers, but before we wrap things up, there's one last wildcard I need to throw in. It's not a single vegetable, it's a whole category that often flies under the radar. Canned and processed vegetables, especially acidic ones like canned tomatoes. Let me be clear, vegetables are not the problem, but when they come canned, especially in BPA-lined containers, things get risky. BPA is a chemical often used in can linings to keep food shelf-stable. But it can leach into the food, especially when the food inside is acidic or heated. That's where canned tomatoes become one of the worst offenders. Tomatoes are naturally acidic, and when stored in BPA-lined cans, they absorb more of this chemical than most other foods. BPA is a proven endocrine disruptor. That means it can directly interfere with hormone levels, especially testosterone. According to a clinical study, men with higher levels of BPA in their bodies had significantly lower testosterone levels. And this doesn't just stop at tomatoes. Canned beans, corn, spinach, and even soups, if packed in BPA-lined cans, can all pose the same risk. Now look, I get it. After hearing about all the vegetables that might be lowering testosterone, it's easy to feel a little lost. Like, what's even safe to eat anymore? But don't worry, this isn't about restriction. It's about being intentional. Because for every food that works against your hormones, there's one that works for them. Let's start with something simple, eggs. And not just the whites, but whole eggs with the yolk. The yolk is where most of the vitamin D, cholesterol, and healthy fats are. And your body actually needs these to produce testosterone. 1 or 2 eggs a day can go a long way in giving your hormones the support they need, especially if you're not getting much sunlight. Next, nuts. Brazil nuts and almonds are 2 of the best. They are high in selenium, a mineral that's been directly linked to testosterone production. On the other hand, help reduce oxidative stress, which protects your hormones from damage. Just a small handful daily is enough to keep things balanced without overdoing it on calories. Now let's talk about flavor boosters, specifically garlic and ginger. These 2 might seem small, but they pack a punch. Garlic has been shown to support testosterone indirectly by lowering stress hormones, while ginger has been linked to actual increases in testosterone and improved sperm quality, especially in older men. Just adding them regularly into your meals or tea can be a quiet little power move for your hormones. Then there's hydration, an underrated but major player. Being even slightly dehydrated can stress your adrenal system, which messes with hormone balance. Try to stay consistent with your water intake throughout the day. Beyond food, lifestyle habits make a huge difference. You don't need to go extreme. Just a few good sessions a week can do wonders. And mainly sleep. So if you're getting less than 7 hours a night, your levels are probably taking a hit, because testosterone is mainly produced while you sleep. And of course, let's not forget alcohol, especially beer, which contains phytoestrogens from hops. These compounds mimic estrogen and can nudge your testosterone in the wrong direction. Red wine in moderation is a better choice, or honestly, skipping alcohol altogether is a win for your hormones. Lastly, be mindful, stress is a silent testosterone killer. When cortisol is high, testosterone drops fast. So making space for calm moments, whether it's deep breathing, meditation, or just a quiet walk outside, and that's it. Now you know exactly what to avoid and what to embrace to support healthy testosterone. If this helps, make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and drop a comment below if you've got questions or your own tips. Stay sharp, stay strong, and I'll see you in the next one.